And for the grind finale, I figured out the XML question. So you go back over to MuseScore, you go File, you go Export, and make sure you pick this one here, Uncompressed Music XML. Turns out it's the exact same thing as XML, but it's music files, so they just put music in front of it, and it's the same thing. And obviously I just tried this a second ago, so it says it exists. I replace it, and to prove that it works, we're over here. We look at all of the files with ls, and then actually my favorite, the one that I normally do is ls little flag, or whatever it's called in bash, rt, which lists all the files in reverse based on time. So you'll see here that the last one, oh my god, I just pointed at the screen, is the last file that I encoded. If you do ls r, you get them in reverse order. Just to show you, ls tr is the same as before. It doesn't really matter when you do them. There's also like lsa, which is everything, including hidden files. And if you're really a masochist, you can do lsl, I'm pretty sure. That tells you everything about permissions and all that kind of crap. But really, we just need lsrt. So for the way this to work, you have all these files just sitting there. And basically, to convert one over, you use the hum to XML command. You can press tab to autocomplete. And then you give it the file that you want. Berkowitz 423.musicxml, and then what happens is if I run it without any commands here, ta-da, it just, oops, I was not paying attention there. You don't want hum to XML, you want XML to hum. That's the way we're going. And do that, and then what do we get? A humdrum file, sweet. So cool, there it is, awesome, fantastic. If you want to save that file as a kern file, you could do like, you use the pipe command, it's a greater than sign, and then say it like my file.kern. Then you can't see it, but it does live there. So if we do lsrt again, we can see that my file is there. And if I look at my file with vim, you can see here it is. I'm using J to go up and down, J and K to go up and down. I press colon, shift, semicolon, gives you colon, W meaning write, Q meaning quit, which saves the file then quits the file, gets out of it. ls again, we see it, but I don't really want it. And the worst command ever, rm, which will destroy everything, and I have destroyed everything, which is why you should learn how to do git, and get it out of there. So we don't need that. If I were to do this all at once, and I wanted to convert all the files, you write a loop to do that. I'm just going to show you because I'm recording this, and you might find it helpful at some point because it's the way that loops work. But just like I did, now I'm pressing up here to get old commands that I've done. So instead of just writing a little one, I'm going to do that for everything. And I'm going to say for I, and I is just a placeholder. It could be my files. It could be, you know, abracadabra, whatever it wants to be. Most people just use I, or I use I. In, saying what you want, in star.xml, and that's saying for every file, whatever you want to call it, in a pattern, and I'm going to say star, meaning anything at all until you find the letters XML. And that's the start of a for loop. And you say enter, do, which means like do something, which you have to have. And then you give it a command, but you use more of like an abstracted command. So I would say XML to hum, and then I want to do it not just on, before we had the file type, but now I want to do it every single file. So instead of the file name, I put an abstract thing in there, a placeholder, $I, meaning the variable. So it's going to do that on every single one in star.xml, meaning every single XML file. And that'll convert them all, but really what we want to do is save them. So we pipe this, everything that's doing it, into $I dot new extension, which is going to be humdrum, which are all kern, K-R-N. And then once you do that, you press enter. And then you say, now I want it to be done. And once I press this, the loop will run. And it'll sort of like sit for a second. If you watch the top part of where that gray bar is of the terminal, you see it do a whole bunch of shit, I think. So here we go. So right now the loop is running as a thing. You can actually make this as executable script, so you don't have to write it in the command line every time. No worries on that. So now I look at this, and if I press ls, we'll see everything that's in there. Oh, it's all the current files. Sweet. Obviously, they have 2 extensions, which is horrible. But this is just like what you end up doing a lot. So instead of going in and like renaming them by hand or something, I actually have a little file here, which I keep hidden in my terminal that has all these helpful bash commands. I think I've sent you before. And we want to get the one that's this top one. And what it does is it renames all of the files with a certain extension. So I'm copying this from my terminal, shift semicolon to get colon, W, which just saves my, I don't really have to double, I just go quit. Brings me back to where I was, ls, right there. If you'd like to know how you can hide little files for yourself to use, I can make another video of that, because it's quite helpful. But then if I paste here, Command V, shit. Oh, god damn it. Obviously didn't copy what I thought I copied. Alright, there we go. So now I have the rename command, which I've downloaded from the internet. It's very helpful. I can show you how to do it. Just to show you what it does. It says rename, meaning grab the rename function, and then substitute, just like you would with sed, which you'll get to in Dan's course eventually. Anything that is .kern.melody until the end of the line, or sorry, shit. Oh my god, this is awful to explain over the computer, and this is like awful to read too. This doesn't get any easier ever. So this says substitute, which is the S here, and then it gives a forward slash, meaning the next thing. So everything up until the forward slash is the next argument. And it says literally a period, because periods mean something special in Bashland. So you have to say literal period kern, literal period dot melody until $, meaning until the end of the line. It's not really what we want. We want XML. I'm using the arrow keys to do this. XML kern until the end of the line. Make all of that, so from this forward slash to this forward slash, it's a regular expression thing, make them all kerns. And then if I do this and press enter, I hope it works. Ah, shit. I pressed up, obviously fucked it up. Oh yeah, you have to get, I obviously didn't copy the thing. I need to do this on star dot kern. So if I do this, boom, now I've renamed all of my files. But obviously I don't want them in here because this is PWD. This is where I keep XMLs, so we don't want any kerns in here. So I'm gonna remove all of my kern files in the danger zone using RM and star, which earlier today I deleted my entire dissertation with. But luckily I had it backed up because I wasn't paying attention. Boom, press ls again, and then we have our files back the way that they were. I'm also going to delete, no I'm not, I thought that was that file from earlier, but hopefully you found that interesting or something. Okay,